Be sure to check out my latest video, School Days, where I take you behind the scenes and I show you, a tour of the haul I collected while I'm picking up my kids from school. You guys and girls be safe out there. Peace. Publix has the best subs in town. Love Publix subs. No, ma'am, that's it. Way better than Subway. Publix said. Of course, at Publix, gotta love Coca-Cola.
Hey, Mommy. Mommy. Oh.
Wipe your face. Good job.
No.
Stop. Ew.
Oh, it's not.
Of course, when you got kids, gotta go by the bathroom.
This room. This.
Oh, wrong one. That's the one. That's the one we want to go in.
It's wrong.
All right.
One, go. Hey, no pee. No
Okay, big boy.
Over here.
I love making my own pizza dough. If you allow my sexy fingers to interrupt your video, might make me a live pizza. I already asked her, she said no.
No.
Gotta stop and refill. Oh yeah. Stop by the gas station to use the bathroom and look at the light that we have. We're having a rave party in the bathroom.
The cheese. Mommy. Your daddy. Mommy.
Be sure to check out my latest videos, Tales from the Dungeon, and also Fred Ventura, the Pet Detective. You girls and guys be safe out there. Peace. Hey, what's up, comic book peeps? Welcome to another episode of Direct Edition. The channel is Fred Hall Direct Edition. And today, man, I'm really excited because I was able to get another one of my action figures back in my collection, and it's very, very cool. But before we do anything, let's get a word from our sponsor. And this episode of Direct Edition is brought to you by my fake Darth Maul from China. All right, so you know how we do on this channel. Let's get into some comics. Okay, so first off, before we go any further, I kind of wanted to talk about the background that I have set for you guys. The first two books are The Edge of Venomverse, that is the X-23 cover. When I saw that cover, I actually went crazy. Definitely love the Venomized, what's her name, X-23. And then I think that's Francesco Mattina. Let me see. Yes, that is our artist, Francesco Mattina. Definitely love that cover. And very cool, man. Definitely love to see Venomized X-23. And your next book is Venom number 6, I believe. And that's when the real Venom returned. Because I don't recognize any Venom besides Eddie Brock. You know, Gorgon, who was the Scorpion, the Spider-Man villain, I really didn't like him. And Thunderbolts, I've always been very fond of Eddie Brock. He is the original Venom to me. Your next is going to be your Edge of Venomverse. That is the unbeatable Gwenpool. and that is one of my favorite covers of all time. I thought it was a Clayton Crane cover. Francesco Mattina is very close to Clayton Crane, the drawing style. And like I told you, that Gwenpool, that cover, Edge of Venomverse #2, is one of my top 20 covers of all time. It's just beautiful. I mean, if you really take the time to appreciate it, you see the stars and just wow. I mean, what a home run on that cover. And your last cover is New Avengers number. Let's get up close. Number 35. To a lot of people, this was like one of the first Venomized covers. Excuse me. Very cool cover. And I found that in the flea market for actually probably like two or three, $2 or $3, and that is a very sought after book. Like I said, people always be like, "That's one of the first Venomized covers," and very cool. So with that being said, let's get into some comics, or let's get into, you know, one of the surprises I have for you guys. And here it is, without a doubt. This is the Venom Marvel Select. Finally have it back in my collection. This is a very, very expensive toy on the market. I think people want like 40 to 50 and even more money for it. But when I was a second in Charles, I saw two of them on the shelf for $25. And I was on a $25 budget. And I said, hey, what the hell? You only live once. So I broke my budget because I had to get this back in my collection. It's such a beautiful, 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 well put together action figure. So here's a cool look at the front of the Venom. And here's a cool look at the side of the Venom. I've always adored the way Marvel selects do the side of their boxes. That's why I really, really encourage myself to keep them in the package. I don't have that desire to break them out of the package anymore because I've been collecting mint on card for most of my adult life now. So very cool look at the side of it. And here's a very cool, awesome look at the back of it with all its accessories. If you want to read the synopsis, the camera's not really coming out very good on the words, but you know, you can pause it and read it at your own leisure. So that's very cool. We have the Venom comic book. We have, what is that? The Barbarian Incredible Hulk. And one of the most rarest Marvel selects I've ever seen. I haven't never even seen it in person before. Is the Rhino. So I'm a huge Marvel Select fan. Definitely would like to, you know, get as many as I can in my collection. Um, let's see. Did they re-release this one? This is from 2018. Jesus Christ! And see, that's the reason why Marvel Selects. A lot of them don't gain monetary value because what they do is each year or each 3 to 4 years they re-release the same figure. So a figure that's rare, you know, at 3 to 4 years it won't be rare anymore. But to my knowledge, I don't think they re-released the Rhino or, you know, the unhelmeted Juggernaut, which is a very sought after one too, or the long-haired Gambit. You know, some of them they just don't re-release, but a lot of them they do. And I think to make it, I think they re-released this because it's an upcoming Venom movie with my boy Tom Hardy. So very cool look at the back of the figure. And let's take a more detailed look at the action figure and some of his accessories. The Venom out with his tongue the Venom with his tongue out is sick. I like the half Eddie Brock face. The half Eddie Brock face, if you allow my 60 fingers to interrupt the video, reminds me of this. Like I said, Eddie Brock is the original Venom and the only Venom that I really like. Just a very cool action figure. And those actual heads that's on his back are actually removable. So very cool, man. I just thought about it. That's the reason why they re-released it, because of upcoming movie. So, all right, there you have it. The glow from my lighting is off the chain. So there you have it. All right. So you know how we do. Let's get into some comics. Okay, so one of the first books I wanted to show you guys was my Generation Next book. The reason why I have this is because my first copy is so tore up, tore up from the floor up, and I had to rebuy this for the collection. And this is a very, 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 very good arc in the Age of Apocalypse. So definitely, when I see Age of Apocalypse, I always try to pick it up and complete my single run of Age of Apocalypse. I would love to have all of the Age of Apocalypse books in singles because Comic Book Window has the omnibus. So, but very cool. And there you have it. The next book I'm going to show you is Uncanny X-Men 538. The reason why I got this is because it's a very, very beautiful, beautiful Terry Dodson cover. I mean, when you actually look at the, cover, it's actually a very, very nice cover, especially Psylocke, man. Psylocke looks deadly. Um, I've always been a big fan of Psylocke. Then you got, Kitty Pryde, you got Colossus, you got Hope Summers. Storm is looking beautiful. Yeah, Prince Namor, and in the back you have Angel. So a very cool X-Men cover, and definitely love to have this in my collection. I don't think it's part of the Nation X art. Try saying that, saying it twice, but it's called Nation X. That's a hardcover that I have in the dungeon, um, but I don't think it's part of that run. But very cool. Wonder what happened to Colossus. So switching over to DC, I bought this the Flash Rebirth, and I didn't realize that it wasn't an actual um, just a Flash title. This is actually the Flash Rebirth, and it's number two. But I did like this cover because it reminded me of the old school Flash cover. If you're familiar with the Flash character and his history, you will know that this is a cover swipe um, from a Flash cover. Very famous. I think the background was like yellow. So it stood out, and I definitely wanted to have it. So I picked it up, and definitely a fan, definitely a fan of the Flash. I just don't have a lot of his comics, and I hate being that type of collector where it's like, you like the characters so much, but you rarely have any of their books. I'm like that with the Flash and with Doctor Strange, and I'm a big Incredible Hulk fan, but I like the old school Incredible Hulk or the Hulk right around the time of War of the Hulks and War Hulk. So those are the books I'm trying to collect, but definitely need some more Flashes in my collection. But very cool. So I'm plugging in the holes and plugging in the gaps of my new X-Men run. Definitely, they introduce a lot of cool characters. I know Anole was one. What's his name? What's his name? Phantom X was introduced, and also too, this character was introduced in this book. This is New X-Men number 133. I remember picking this fresh off the rack at Titans Comics back in the day. But this is the first appearance of this character, Sand, who is a new X-Men or a young X-Men. She's always been part of that younger group with X-23. And her powers are very cool. It's not like Sandman. She can be like Sandman. But I've actually seen her go inside somebody's body and actually kill them that way. And she doesn't want to kill. This is one of the first Muslim characters that was introduced way before, the radicalism or anything was controversial. So Marvel has been, on a different type of, way of introducing new characters from different backgrounds. So definitely love this cover, man. That black cover is sick, and also in her eyes, that is Wolverine. That's Wolverine in her eyes. So I really enjoyed reading this book, and it's a very good book. So So that's New X-Men number 133. New X-Men 153. I definitely love this story. I used to call it like the Age of Apocalypse. I used to call it the Age of Beast. But I actually realized that that is not Beast. That's actually Sublime. So very cool. Just very, very cool. Mark Silvestri cover too. So that's 153. And New X-Men 154. Mark Silvestri. Very cool Beak cover. Yeah, Beak, Rover, Wolverine, Cassandra Nova, and a couple more characters that I have to read it again to realize who it is. But this is Here Comes Tomorrow, part 3 and 4. I actually have all these books, but I thought it'd be cool to collect the Here Comes Tomorrow again because it's a very nice story, man. Very cool story. There you have it, Mark Silvestri. And to plug in the holes and plug in the gaps of, like I said, my new X-Men run, I actually got this X-Horn cover, which is okay. Planet X Part 4 or 5. And this is New X-Men number 149. So it's an okay book. I just got it as a run filler. And there it is. And so this should be a main event, but this is Spider-Woman number 1. This is not Jessica Drew. I forget her name, but this Spider-Woman was part of the West Coast Avengers. And I've always liked Spider-Woman, period. No matter who wore the costume, but my favorite of all time will always be Jessica Drew. But I was surprised to find this Spider Woman number 1 for 50 cents. Very cool 50 center. And yeah, very cool. You know, I'm from the 90s, so if I see a number 1, I'm going to pick it up. All right, so rumbling around here in the dungeon, I see that the only one I'm missing is Generation Next number 3. After checking my old comics to make sure I don't have it, but I don't think I have it. But this is Generation Next 1, 2, and 4. Just wanted to show you guys, how I'm plugging in the holes and plugging in the gaps. Very cool covers. All right, let's get into some more comics. So while we're on X-Men, I'm noticing that this guy Salvador does a lot of the X-Men covers, and his covers are very sick, man. I really, really like them. Yeah, his covers are sick, like I am right now. But I really, really like them. This is a cool Iceman and Wolverine cover. This X-Men 168, followed by a very beautiful Salvador cover of Uncanny X-Men 440. And that character on the front cover, that is, I think, a Gertrude, Cannonball and Page of the X-Men. I think that's one of their brothers. And most of the Gertrude kids actually are mutants. All of them are. And William Stryker actually duped this guy with the wings into one of the Purifier's camps. William Stryker hates mutants, and he actually amputated his wings off. So this guy doesn't have those wings anymore, but very beautiful, beautiful Salvador covers. Love them. And so we're at the point of the video where you ask me, hey, Fred Hall, Direct Edition, what are you reading right now? And this is what I'm actually reading right now. This is the official handbook of the Marvel Universe, X-Men, and of course, it is the Salvador cover. So very cool, man. Got this for 50 cents, and I will definitely be reading this as soon as this video ends, and look at some of the mutants that I adore so much. So very cool thing to read, and really nice from 2004. All right, so let's get into your main events. What's up, comic book window? We just talked about the other run of Thor, the God of Thunder. And there you have it. I'm looking through the books and, seeing what they got. And this pops up, the Unworthy Thor number 1. And I'm not gonna lie, I giggle like a dolphin. I actually went 8 nuts because this is a very, very cool book, in my opinion. Thor, for the past, 5 years, has been untouchable as far as any Marvel story, as far as Marvel being consistent with a character and not playing around. And when I saw this, I actually went crazy because that actually, the hammer that he's going after is Thor's hammer from the Ultimate Universe. So very cool, man. And this story is very cool. I don't want to tell you too much, uh, but you have to read it. So Unworthy Thor #1. That's your first main event, which is a heavy hitter for me. Very cool main event. Your next main event blows me away because this is Rob Schneider and Capullo's run on Batman, and this is the Endgame Part 2. Very, very, very gratifying, uh, cool Superman cover. This is Jokerized Superman when he went after Batman, and Batman actually had the kryptonite gum and spit it in Superman's face after Superman destroyed his God armor. So very, very cool, man. The Endgame Part 2. Definitely, definitely glad to have this for a main event. But not only did I get number 36, but for your last main event, we have Endgame Part 4, which is Batman number 38. Very cool Joker cover, and if you look in the background, you'll see the Joker, and also too you see Batman holding love and hate hands that were cut off. So very cool, man. Capullo and Snyder's run on Batman is considered to be the best run of all time. So there you have it, your last two main events. And so, once again, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Direct Edition. Remember, the channel is Fred Hall Direct Edition. You girls and guys be safe out there. And remember, words of wisdom, focus on the ones that show you love. And on the ones that don't show you love, hey, we're just going to keep on rolling without them. I pray that you guys be successful in everything you do. And I will catch you girls and guys later. Be safe out there. Peace.